Hi, I'm Cynthia Schiller. Welcome to the channel. Please like and subscribe where we're helping heal one day at a time. We're going to talk about some serious stuff this time. There are actually several different kind of mental illnesses that we can kind of get from being in a narcissistic relationship. So something to really pay attention to, take to heart. If you're ruminating, wondering if you should get back together or if you should stick out a friendship, what to do with a family member. So words can actually hurt us. They can linger and they can be more destructive to us than physical injury. So one of the first ones is sleep disorder, where you're unable to settle down, you're unable to close your mind, calm yourself. You're always ruminating, always thinking, always hoping, or you might be angry about it. It just starts to disrupt your sleep. You also won't get as deep of a sleep, as good of a sleep, and that can affect the rest of your life. Your work abilities, your ability to function, to communicate properly with other people, might keep you on edge. And also it's totally true. It's kind of weird. If you don't get enough sleep, weight gain can happen. And it's so true because I've noticed when I am sleep deprived, I usually don't eat as much, but that's when I gain weight. It's really weird. So it is true. Like, I'll tell you what. So watch out for that. Addiction, different kinds of addictions. We just want to escape what we're going through. Addiction can be anything from, drugs and alcohol, or working out too much to where it's affecting our lives in a negative way. We're not getting done what we need to do. We're overdoing it. We're injuring ourselves because we're doing it too much. Workaholics. So our family lives start to fall apart because we're just trying to escape. We need to put our addiction to the person, to our narc, onto something else. So it's just overdoing it. And that'll affect the rest of our lives. Depression, start to get sad. You just kind of get mopey and don't want to really do anything. You lose your motivation. And it's kind of like a funk that you just can't get out of. And that's not the way to live life. Depression can lead to some other mental illnesses too. It can lead to, also neglecting your body, your daily duties, your hopes and dreams. And that's a main one. Don't let depression take away your hopes and dreams, or your future, things that you should be out experiencing. So anxiety, just being like frustrated all the time, on edge, not knowing which end is up, walking on eggshells, trying to figure things out, a better way, what to say, what not to say, what to do, what not to do. Self-harm is another one. Self-harm, be careful if you're doing that with a mixture of addiction, because sometimes, like, if somebody's a cutter, there's a lot of cutters out there, and they'll do that, but they want to kind of hurt themselves. But if you slice too deeply, you can actually, sever an artery or a vein. It can lead to death, especially if you're, on drugs where you're not quite comprehending the depth of the cut. You're not quite comprehending the depth of the pain to warn you you're going too deep. Same can happen if you're drinking too much. So your perceptions will be off and you can actually kill yourself without necessarily meaning to. So there are other types of self-harm, such as eating disorders, whether you're bulimic or anorexic. Even the food choices are going to be poorer. You're not going to be as concerned about your health. Often with eating disorders, it's a way to control your situation. It gives you control. I can say, no, I am not going to eat today. It's also a challenge. I won't go and eat for however long. Bulimia, it's almost like you're trying to fill yourself to get rid of the pain. And then you're like, now I feel miserable, or I don't want to gain the weight. But the purging is, so you try to fill yourself and then you also try to purge the pain. And that can lead to a lot of health issues. Anorexia and bulimia can cause death. And then anger issues. You're already so on edge, whether you're sleep deprived or full of anxiety, anger starts to fester. And that's going to change how your relationships even in healthy situations, will turn out. So just be aware of that staying in a narcissistic relationship is also going to harm your good relationships, because you're starting to take on some of the traits of the narc. The anger where you just explode, you don't control your emotions, or if you build them up inside, it can actually harm your physical body. So paranoia. Sometimes narcissists can be quite vindictive or stalk. So you're going to be paranoid. You're going to be watching your back. I know for me, I don't answer my door. And because there's like a window to where they can look over, I hide. It could be UPS. And I don't want to answer the door. If I think it's my last narc, I shake. I get this like adrenaline rush, and like I actually like tremble. And we're on like good terms, but I ended up just talking to him, and I was like, and I wasn't nervous, but it caused me to have like almost like a shell shock, to where I went through so much to where my nerves were fried. And like I can't even just, you know, tuck my hair. And he noticed it. He's like, you are shaking. And it wasn't a scared shake. Like I didn't think he'd hurt me. But he caused like a shell shock, because I kept asking him when we were supposed to have a life together, and then he ghosts me, and I think he's dead, and I'm trapped, not being able to contact him. And so I'm like crying and screaming. It's like a shell shock. And like I've said in other videos, like every day I have this adrenaline rush that I'm trying to calm down, and it's taking, 2.5 years so far. Every day I feel this adrenaline rush. So you got to mentally struggle with some things to get over it. So suicidal thoughts. This is one I encourage you to get some help if you do have these, especially if you have any addictions going on, because sometimes you get caught up in the moment. A lot of times people who do want to commit suicide, and they have a failed attempt, or they just didn't have the resources at that time, or they talk themselves out of it. But suicidal thoughts, a lot of times the people regret that they attempted to try to commit suicide, that they're glad that they survived looking back. Suicidal thoughts, definitely get some help on that. They can build. So even if you suppress them, they might come back, especially during sleep, if you have a sleep disorder from the narcissist. So you're not going to be thinking quite as clearly. You're going to be a little bit more sensitive, which is okay. It's okay. You know, you went through a lot. But definitely reach out for some help. There's suicidal hotlines. Severe stress can happen. Always on edge, always trying to do things the right way can be overwhelming. Always walking on eggshells, and then you walk on eggshells, and then they devalue you more. It's like this never-ending pit that you're trying to climb out of, and there's no escape door. So you can develop severe stress from that, and that can cause physical injuries to you. It can cause you to lose so much of your life. Will be wasted because you're stressed, not handling things right, because you're trying to cope now too. So your narcissist has stolen a lot of your coping skills, but you can be strong. There's going to be good days and bad days, but you got to overcome it, because this is a big one. Cptsd, chronic post-traumatic stress disorder. And that is terrible. All of these are terrible. But that's the chronic post-traumatic stress disorder, is when it goes on for a long time. It's not like PTSD, which would be like, I don't know, you're caught in a house fire. That was a traumatic event, or somebody set a bomb off right behind you, and luckily you survived. So chronic, since we've been in these relationships, or it's continued on, and it's nipped away at us, and it's kept us, like I said, how I've been at that level, that adrenaline rush for so long, that's the state my body got trained to be in. and adrenaline rushing through you all the time, your fight or flight, uh, that's not healthy. That is not healthy. It damages your cells and your thought processes and just even the way you feel. So definitely think about, you know, how to handle your situation. Comment below, let me know which ones of these you've had if you feel comfortable, or if you'd like some advice or some resources such as a suicide hotline. I will help you through that. Feel free to, if you need to see a therapist or a psychologist or even self-help groups, or community groups to talk it through. Narcissist survivor groups can be very helpful. I'm proud of you for being on YouTube, trying to research things. And the thing that I appreciate is that you took the time for your health to see what this video was about. So if you've watched till this point, you know, think about some ways that you can kind of get back to being yourself, to avoid any of these damaging situations, these mental illnesses that will affect your life, your work, your friends, your relationships, and just your future, So please like and subscribe, comment below, and let's help each other along the way. I'll see you soon.